welcome back to Farm Girl Diaries. My name is Caitlin, and we're going to do another kitchen day today because today we are being hit. I'm in Pennsylvania, and we are getting the smoke from the wildfires in Canada. So our air quality is actually horrendous. This is the worst that I have knowledge of. I checked around 2 p.m. and our air quality number was at like 200. And it's supposed to be at like 7. So when you go outside, I don't have asthma, and they said people with asthma would really kind of maybe need their inhaler more. And I've kind of always wondered if I have asthma or if I'm just like really out of shape, which I am. But I'm actually kind of struggling to breathe, to breathe a little bit. So I'm staying inside. I've talked to a lot of people that said they go outside and their throat gets really raw, they get headaches, and I don't get any of that. I haven't been outside that long, but I'm definitely kind of struggling to breathe a little. Not struggling to breathe, I just feel it just heavier on me to breathe. So we're just going to stay inside today and not try to do anything outside, which kind of sucks. I thought about bringing Miss Fig in. She is my bunny, in case you don't know. I thought about bringing her inside. And everyone told me like she's so low to the ground and all other wildlife is outside, so she should be fine. So I am leaving her outside because she hates to come inside. So I feel like that might cause her more stress than maybe the poor air quality. So we're going to hang on the kitchen today. We're going to get a couple of things done. So first of all, I've started harvesting my broccoli. Let's look. This is the second head that I've harvested, and I like to compare broccoli heads to the size of my head. Not size of my head, my size of my hand. So that is a really nice, I'm very proud of this broccoli head. So I harvested him, and then I harvested one over the weekend, and that one is already putting off really good. This is a shoot off of one main broccoli. So once you harvest the big head, you're only going to get one big head. But then you will get just these individual little florets. And you'll get a ton of them. So I've started harvesting them. I got a big old colander here of them. And I am very proud to say that last year I grew 100% of the broccoli that I ate for the year. I still have a couple of bags. I think I have probably about 5 bags left over from last year. So that is so exciting to me. So I'm really proud that I'm able to grow 100% of my broccoli. So we're going to try to do the same again this year. I want to get my hamburger chopped up and cooking. So last year for my broccoli, I grew 12 heads of broccoli, or 12 broccoli plants. And that was enough for a year for me. This year I think I have 18 in there. So I'm now trying to have both fresh eaten and enough for preserving. But this batch, I'm not going to have any broccoli today. This batch I want to get in the freezer. So if you're new here, my garden is mainly for, up until this year, my garden's probably been 95% for preservation, for both freezer or canning. I don't eat too much out of the garden. I try to put all of it into preservation. And this year I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to enjoy the garden first and foremost while it's fresh, and then put it into the preservation project. So the very first head of broccoli that I harvested, I ate fresh, and it was delicious, and I'm going to try to do that with everything. Every single thing that I harvest, the very first thing at least, I want to make sure that I enjoy before I focus on preserving it. So this broccoli though, we're going to preserve, and how I do that is I freeze it. And I have found for freezing broccoli, I have much better success when I blanch my broccoli and then I freeze it. So I have a big pot of water going on the stove. I'm going to get that boiling. I'm going to get my broccoli chopped down into my floret sizes, and then we're going to blanch it for just 2 minutes, lay it on a baking sheet, dry it off, put it in the freezer to freeze, do a flash freeze, and then I'll bring it in and package it up and put it into, I just had one. I normally put it in Ziploc bags. My hope was to have enough silicone bags this year to get a lot of my preserving in silicone bags, and that hasn't happened, and that's okay because I haven't bought new bags. These are bags that I've used from last year. So I just did something with frozen broccoli. So this was a frozen broccoli last year, so we're just going to reuse it. So it's not going to waste, and I don't have to buy new ones, so that's great. So we're going to be doing that. On the stove, I have gone some hamburger. We got just shy of 4 pounds of hamburger. So I'm going to be making a first batch of enchiladas. I want to make enchiladas for the freezer. So I didn't feel like it. I know how to make them, but I wasn't in the mood today to make tortillas. So I bought tortillas, and we're going to be doing at least 2, maybe even 3 freezer meals of enchiladas. I've never made enchiladas for the freezer. I have made enchilada casserole many times for the freezer, and I really, really love that. But I really decided this time I kind of just wanted enchiladas. So we're going to do at least 2 casserole dishes of enchiladas, 4 in each one, potentially even a third because I'll have a couple left over tortillas. So that's the first thing we're going to do. Once we're done with the broccoli, I picked a whole bunch of strawberries a couple days ago. So we're going to do my strawberries and syrup, or what I call my strawberry packets. And these are frozen. I packed them in Ziploc bags as well. And these are frozen strawberries in syrup. And what I like to use for these is I live in Dutch country, and when we have strawberry shortcake, our strawberry shortcake is shortcake with these strawberries with milk. And for me and my family, that has always been a meal. It's never been a dessert, it's always been a meal. And one of my favorite meals that my mom makes is strawberry shortcake, and then with a really good hot dog. And that's such a simple meal, and it's one of my favorites. So what I really like to do, when strawberries are fresh, so local, they're coming in, I like to preserve them in syrup. And I freeze them in these little packets, and that way when I want to have this meal, I can just go pull out a packet of strawberries, let it fall on my counter, and then I have fresh strawberries for my shortcake. You can buy, obviously, strawberries from the grocery store. This is a meal that I'm kind of more so seeing using in winter. Right now, over summer, I have strawberries I'm picking for my green stalk. That was my breakfast this morning. So I have strawberries that come in for my green stalk all summer long. And then there's a couple of different, we already did the June Barron strawberries, that's what I picked. And then the end of June, we have late Barron strawberries. So I'm going to do another round of strawberry picking then too. So I'll definitely have my fill of fresh eaten strawberries. So these packets are going to go in the freezer. And then these will be, like I said, for winter. And then why I like them is because you can obviously buy strawberries in wintertime at the grocery store. They're normally, at least in my area, stupid expensive. And they taste terrible. Once you have a fresh, homegrown strawberry that is allowed to ripen on the vine, store-bought strawberries are awful. Jess at Roots and Refuge has that saying, store-bought tomatoes taste like disappointment, and I honestly think strawberries are worse. I think store-bought strawberries are literal garbage. When you open one, next time you do this, when you cut open a store-bought strawberry, the inside is white. And that's because that strawberry did not ripen on that vine. It was picked and it was forced to ripen off the vine. When you let a strawberry ripen on the vine, all the way through that strawberry, it is red. And it is glorious, and it tastes fantastic. So that's why I like to do my strawberries and syrup. It's a great way. The price was really good. And it's a great way to preserve the fresh, local, or an organic strawberries. So I really like doing that. So I need to get them from the outside fridge and get them prepped. But for now, we're just going to get working on our broccoli and get working on my enchiladas. So feel free to just hang out with me in the kitchen while we just get a couple of things checked off our list. Now I put that in the pot, and I'm just going to leave it in there for just 2 minutes. And then as soon soon as I get it out, I'm just going to put it on a baking sheet and just kind of pat it dry and let it air dry. To my enchilada, or to my hamburger mix, which is going to be enchiladas. It's almost done already, which is awesome. I'm going to add some taco seasoning. I make a really yummy enchilada sauce. So I just like to use taco seasoning. I don't know if this, well, I don't think this is correct for real enchiladas, but I think it tastes really good. I'm just going to add some taco seasoning. And then this is normally where I like to add in my jalapeno relish, but I am completely out of my jalapeno relish. So I'm going to add in just a little bit of cowboy candy, and I think that gives it just a little bit of heat. But when I make jalapeno relish, if you're watching this after summer, make jalapeno relish and add jalapeno relish. So I'm going to add a little bit of water, and then just a spoonful of my cowboy candy for that heat. Just a little bit. Okay. Okay, it's been 2 minutes. That goes so quickly. So I'm going to get my broccoli out. And I'm just putting it directly on my cookie sheet. And blanched broccoli and blanched green beans too get so vibrant green when they're blanched. So let me show you. So look how bright green that broccoli is compared to this. Definitely a lot brighter. So I'm going to get another round going. That was a small round, but that's okay. Another 2 minutes. If you don't blanch your broccoli, I don't know what it is. I don't know what enzyme is. I don't know what reaction is happening when you blanch your broccoli. I'll be completely honest. But I know some vegetables like to be blanched and some do not. So, for instance, kale. I freeze kale whole. I do not blanch kale. My mom tried to blanch kale one time and it was a horrendous. It did not work. I froze snap peas one time without blanching them, and they were awful. They were terrible. They were just complete mush. I blanched them, and they're softer than normal, but they're they're still very good. Like I said, they're a decent second to fresh snap peas. So it's the same with broccoli. It prefers, and in my opinion, it does better being blanched. Green beans are another one. I think kind of really the only way that you know what you like is to give it a test. So you don't need to do a whole batch of it to see what you like. You know, get some broccoli, and put it, if you want to try it, put some of this directly in a bag in the freezer, and put it in there for a couple of days, and then get it out, thaw it, and see how you like it. I've also realized that I like my vegetables to completely thaw before I eat them. I prefer to roast a lot of my vegetables. So if I'm going to eat them as like a roasted side, I want them to be completely thawed. Cooking them from frozen, if you're putting it in a casserole is one way, but if you're trying to use it as a side, I don't personally like that. So again, there's a lot that you have to just kind of play with, figure out what you like, and then once you know what you like it, and you're good to go. You're good to move forward. So I know for me, this is how I like my broccoli. Blanched for 2 minutes, frozen, flash freeze. And when I say flash freeze, the idea is you put this whole thing in the freezer for just 2 hours. and you get it all kind of hard. And then what happens is if I was to put this in the freezer now, in their bags in the freezer, all of this is wet, it would all clump together. The idea is I'm going to spread it out on this cookie sheet, and it's going to harden up individually, and then when I put it into a bag, it won't clump together. It'll stay two separate pieces. And for the most part, that has been the case for me. With flash freezing, like I said, it's about 2 hours. I have forgotten it for days. I'm not gonna lie, I've 100% forgotten it for days, so it's okay. Put it in the freezer. If you get it out within 2 hours, you get it out within 2 days, it's just fine. Okay, this is my last batch, so we just have one cookie sheet today. And there's a lot more broccoli out there. I'm just trying to get it as big as I can before I harvest it. Okay. Now, I'm going to let this sit out just for a minute. A couple of minutes. I'm going to let that steam come off. I don't want to put that steam in my freezer. And I want it to kind of dry off a little bit. I could air, or I could pat this with a paper towel. But I'm just going to let it sit out and kind of just air dry and cool off before I put it in the freezer. But then this will go in the freezer, and I'll package it up into my individual serving bags. And when I do it, I pack it into what I think a serving size will be. So I won't necessarily stuff this bag full. I do I'll probably honestly fill half of this bag solid with broccoli, and then that's what I consider like a serving size. So that's enough for the side, that's enough to add to a casserole. I don't like to, especially because I let it thaw the whole way, I don't like to let this whole thing thaw, get half of it out of broccoli, and then still have this much broccoli left, and have to put that back in the freezer or use that later. I prefer to get the bag out, let it thaw, use it all, and then we use the bag. So you're going to see me as I pack these up, or at some point you're going to see, I don't know if I'll bring you along to that video because I put it in this bag, that's it. But I don't fill them up the whole way, and that's why. I just want to use it as per serving, not necessarily as fill it up as much as I can. Okay. Now my taco mix is done, which is good because now we're at a really good stopping point. I was going to go get the strawberries, but before I get the strawberries, I want to get these enchiladas going. Now, I love a good enchilada. And the thing I like about enchiladas is you can do so many different things with them. I prefer to do ground meats, the ground beef, but you could do steak, beef, chicken, turkey, beans, cheese. The ideas are honestly kind of endless. So, come over here. Come over. So I'm going to do, in each pan, so we're going to see how far I go. I'm going to do a ground beef, a cheese, a ground beef, and a cheese. I really love to have cheese enchiladas too. I'm going to start really simple. I do these so simple, so easy. I'm going to start with my tortilla, put a little bit of ground beef. Oops. I'm going to roll them up. And you could add beans into this mixture, that's really good. I'm going to do, one day here soon, I want to do a enchilada casserole, but like a pasta casserole. I do an enchilada casserole now, but I want to do like an enchilada pasta casserole. That's on my list. The tricky part with the meat is trying to make sure that you have like, so I know how many I want to make. I want to make sure that I'm kind of being even with how much each enchilada is getting. But not use up all of the meat in one pan of enchiladas. So like I said, I really like just a cheese enchilada. I think I take a bite of like the beef enchilada and then the cheese at the same time. And I think the two of them just go together really well. So I'm definitely gonna need some more cheese, so that's okay. So I just grate a whole big pile. Sometime I want to try to do like a quesadilla enchilada. So I want to take and make a quesadilla with the tortillas, and then from the quesadilla make an enchilada. I think that'd be really good. I think that's essentially how I eat it. Like I take a bite of the cheese enchilada with a bite of the beef enchilada. Which I think is one would be really good. Okay. So that is one pan of 4 enchiladas. I'm going to do the exact same thing in my second pan. Okay, that was a 1/4 pound or 3/4 of a pound of hamburger. And that made me 8 enchiladas. I thought I would get a little bit more out of that. Well, no. No, it didn't. It was 3/4 of a pound of hamburger and it made me 2, maybe 5 enchiladas. That did not go as far as I thought it would. However, a way to make enchiladas go further is to add rice and beans and kind of make, I might actually do that next time, kind of make like a little burrito. Make it just like this, but add rice and beans in here. That would make your meat go a lot further. I need to shake. This is my enchilada sauce we made last summer. I believe I have a video on this. So easy to make, and it smells so good. So I'm just covering. I didn't know how much cheese. I bought up 2 quarts. That looks good. Okay, looks like 1 quart covered both pans. And now I'm going to put these in the oven. They're going to bake for just 25 minutes to kind of get them set. Then they're cool. I'll get them wrapped. And that's 2 plates of enchiladas in the freezer. And that quick, you have a meal ready to go on the table, or you have a meal in the freezer that you can pull out on those days you don't feel like cooking. There are so many days that I don't feel like cooking, or I don't know what I want. And I definitely like to go to the freezer at those points and pull out a meal that I have, let it thaw on the counter for a few hours, and I have a nice home cooked meal. And I like having different varieties. I like having the Mexican side. I have enchiladas. I have frozen taquitos that I've made. I have the American side with like cheeseburgers. I have a cheeseburger pie in there. I have different pasta dishes. I have different vegetable dishes. I have sides. I like having the variety of these things. So kind of whatever the mood strikes, I should have something that kind of checks off that craving that I have. So I am going to take the broccoli. The broccoli has stopped steaming and seems to have dried off a little bit. I'm going to take that outside into the chest freezer to get that to start flash freezing. And then I'm going to bring in my strawberries and we're going to get work on the strawberries. That's another super quick project that's not going to take any time at all. So my mom and I went and picked strawberries on Monday. Today is Thursday. No, today's Wednesday. And when we went, they kind of assigned you to a row, and they 100% signed us to the row that was all picked over, and they were just having us kind of go clean it out. So all of our strawberries are incredibly small. Like, small. You get a couple, like the nice size ones, like this size, which is even like a huge one, they're very few and far between. The majority of them are super, super small. So I just spent probably 25 minutes topping these, washing them, and cutting them. I just did 2 quarts, and I got my pot about almost full. And I just don't feel like dealing with these guys right now. So they're fine. They're not, I'm not scared of these guys over ripening by tomorrow, but tomorrow I'll have to mess with the last 3. But I'm done for now. So I just have these on the stove. And I just let them kind of sit. I didn't add anything to them. It's just strawberries. I have them on low, and I'm just gonna kind of let them sit. I will add a little bit of sugar, just probably like a tablespoon of sugar, just let them macerate down a little bit and form juices. And then they'll come in. And for me, I don't like them super sweet, so I'll just add a smidgen of sugar just to get to a sweetness that I like. And that's gonna be all your taste. One batch I made last year, I made it too sweet, and I really didn't enjoy the shortcake as much. So I want to be careful with this year that I'm not making them too sweet. So just a tablespoon, I'll do 2 tablespoons. And let them sit. Okay, friends, I am filling up my pint bags with my strawberries. I just cooked them for about 15 minutes on low, and they just started to release a lot of juices and soften up just a bit. So I am gonna get this done. I try to do about a quart of strawberries per bag. Cause it's normally about, in my opinion, when I make shortcake, it's normally about a quart of strawberries, of fresh strawberries for a shortcake. So that's what I try to aim for. So I did 2 quarts, so I'm gonna get 2 bags out of this. And then I am actually going to end this. I wasn't really going to do too much else. I was going to do a couple more things, but I'm actually starting to kind of have a little bit of trouble breathing. My throat is very scratchy, and I feel like it's not like it's hard to breathe, but I don't know. Anywho, I think I'm just gonna go. I have my purifiers running, and I think I'm just gonna go get a shower and kind of go sit in my air-conditioned room, and hopefully the scratchy throat. I have a slight headache, so hopefully that goes away. So thank you guys for joining me and keeping me company. Yep, I got two beautiful bags out of those strawberries. Put them in the freezer, and they're going to be delicious this winter with strawberry shortcake. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for keeping me company, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, friends.